EPA WA meteorologist Bobby Martins here with your outlook for March 10th, 2021. We will have another mostly sunny day today. Continuation of the warm temperatures is not going to be quite as warm as what we saw on Tuesday, where it got exceptionally warm and actually exceeded model projections for high temperatures on Tuesday as well. The reason for that today is we have a backdoor cold front that's going to be associated with this high pressure offshore. So I'm going to stop the video here and show you what I'm dealing with and start drawing here. So we have a high pressure that's sitting right about here. It's really close to the Gulf of Maine here, and this is where the center of the high pressure is located. And because of that, the return flow around this high pressure is going to bring a southeasterly wind component around this high, and it's going to give a backdoor cold front effect here, so to speak. But this is a very weak front. This is not something that's going to be very prominent. So if I can draw it here, the backdoor front will be something like this, okay? So we're going to have a little bit of cooler air come into the region today, but this is not going to be cold air or a dramatic change from what we saw yesterday. So we're going to have, instead of what we had yesterday as far as temperatures are concerned, this is what we're dealing with today as far as temperature change from what we saw 24 hours prior. So this is looking at early afternoon, generally 3 to 4 degrees lower in the interior from what we saw on Tuesday at the same time. So if you got up to about 62 degrees yesterday, you can expect about 58 today. If you had about, down by Philadelphia, I think they hit 69 degrees. You're probably in the mid-60s today. So not a huge drop in temperatures, but you will have some. The biggest drops will be near the shore points, where we'll have temperatures much cooler there with that onshore flow and that southeasterly wind component. This is just a temporary thing. The backdoor cold front will pretty much dissipate over the area, start to move to the north and east, and that's going to allow Thursday to still be the peak heating day of this week, and we're going to make a run at 70 degrees. That has not changed. The only thing that has changed a little bit was the projections for Wednesday were originally expected to be a little bit warmer than what we saw on Tuesday, which turned out to be a fantastic day, and temperatures in the 60s just about everywhere except for those higher elevations in Northeast PA. But yeah, it was very nice, and we're still going to be nice again relative to average. Again, this time of year, many areas are stuck in the 40s for average highs. Now upper 40s, but still 40s nevertheless. So if you're stuck in the upper 50s, it's still above average, but it's just not going to be quite as warm and off by about 3-4 degrees from what we saw on Tuesday. So I don't think it's going to be a big change, but there definitely is a change from what we saw on Tuesday. So no precipitation though today, mostly sunny skies. And once we get to Thursday, the ridge that's in place the whole time, and when I go back to this here's the ridge today. There's still a very big ridge over the eastern United States. So the ridge did not go away. Just the backdoor cold fronts are very common in spring. This happens a lot, where you get these little influences from high pressure sitting in the right spot here in the Gulf of Maine area especially. This one's going to be somewhere near Nantucket, so, you're going to get a little bit of southeasterly wind component. That onshore flow with the cooler water temperatures are going to give you those cooler temperatures. That's just today, though. Thursday, we get into partly cloudy skies. The front is off to our west here, so will not be affecting our region. We'll have unabated temperatures getting up well into the 60s, if not hitting 70 across most of the region. And here's what we're looking at for today for highs. So even with those cooler temperatures, it's still getting to about 60 or thereabout in our central areas. But you see further southeast, you're generally 63, 64, 62, something like that. So not upper 60s like we saw yesterday down in these particular areas. That's the only change for today. Okay, but once we get to Thursday, again, this is going to be an unabated change here in temperatures. We get to Thursday, the highs are going to be challenging the 70-degree mark. They're going to be the upper 60s to near 70. Some areas will get into the lower 70s for highs on Thursday, with that backdoor front no longer an issue. Now, I will say something about the temperatures here. The model projections this time of year are a little bit off typically when you have warm air advection, especially a very strong warm air advection like we saw yesterday. We're going to have that again on Thursday. So some of these projections here that are 68, 67, 66, 69, you're probably in the 70s there. Okay, you're probably getting 70 or above in a very large area, and I don't think it's going to be just what's shown here verbatim. Okay, so a very good run at 70 degrees by the time we get to Thursday. And then we're going to have a cold front move through the region on Friday. lacking precipitation. Matter of fact, it's going to fall apart. As you can see here, there's really not too much in the way of precipitation. We just have an isolated chance for a shower, but we will be mostly cloudy on Friday. With those clouds, you're not going to get quite as warm. So by the time we get to Friday, here's what the temperatures are for highs, okay? And you have generally mid-60s or thereabout. So it's still going to be warm, even though we're not going to have, full sun. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies. But because we still have the ridge over the area and we're ahead of the cold front, so therefore we're still expecting mid-60s for highs here on Friday as well. But there's going to be a big change from Friday to Saturday as this front moves through and this settles off to the south. There is no precipitation in the forecast here for Saturday at all. But we will have that cold air advection. The winds are going to pick up over the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. We have some wind gusts, 30, 35 miles per hour at times, with that cold air advection coming in. But we go from this on Friday, and these are your highs here on Saturday, here in the mid-40s. So quite a difference in temperatures from one day to the next. But we're still not dealing with much in the way of precipitation through this entire week. We go into Tuesday, is going to be our next chance for precipitation. It's going to remain colder than average, starting early next week as well. So you're kind of mid-40s this weekend. Same thing starting early next week, mid-40s or thereabout. And then we finally have a system coming at us on Monday night and Tuesday. It's probably going to be Tuesday. Could be a few showers in a few spots, mainly southeastern areas. The new guidance is starting to send this precipitation with this particular wave further south. So we would have less precipitation again. Now, we haven't had rain in a while, or any precipitation in a while, in a lot of areas. So this is just going to prolong things. I really don't think you see much on Friday at all. Maybe an isolated shower here or there. And this is starting to not look like too much here on Tuesday as well. Before this had this cutting right through our area. And now it's starting to look like the models are backing off of that idea. So we'll continue to follow it over the week ahead. But I do think one thing is starting to trend in the direction of less precipitation as we go forward in time, when it looked like we could have had a little bit more. But it also has a cool period coming in here between Saturday and at least Tuesday of next week, maybe even Wednesday. But I think we're going to start warming up again once we get to about Wednesday of next week. But not quite to what we are right now. But we're going to have this up and down pattern going through much of the remainder of March. We're going to have some slightly above average temperatures for a couple days, and then you get a cold front come through and he knocks you down to near to slightly below average. But as I've been saying all along, no major snowstorms on the horizon. Nothing of significance at all that I can see right now. We'll watch these systems here as we get forward in time, but I really don't think the further you go in time, average highs are continuing to go up, so near to slightly below average is not going to cut it for any snowfall in this region. I'm EPA and WA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for March 10th, 2021. Have a great Wednesday.